to answer because most of the time we need to say welcome to the new faces that joined the meeting. So, Anza, I don't know if you configure your microphones already. I pronounce well your name.
Hey, Hamza, can you hear
good
us?
afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Perfect.
Yes, can you introduce yourself to the group?
All right, my name is Hamza Njaji, and I'm from Kano, Nigeria. I'm a front-end developer and developer advocate at Chaos Africa. And then I'm an advocate for open source community, focusing on disability and inclusion. About last year, I think, I joined this group, and then
Yeah.
we had a discussion. Yeah, you can remember, we had a discussion around bringing people living with disability into the community as well.
Yes, I see on the agenda your name already. Okay, but the time is flying. I didn't remember.
Yeah,
So
you've been active on Slack as well, but we haven't seen you for a while in the meetings.
Yeah, that's because I'm kind of very busy person. Like I'm living two different lives, the tech life and then the farmer life. Of course, I farm a lot. So like from February to May, usually I was unavailable because I went off grid. I cut off all connections. I don't have access to internet and I don't have access to digital devices, But after May, that is starting from June to December, I have all the time to contribute to the community and then to engage my life in other digital world.
Wonderful.
okay, great. And okay, so now we can move on the agenda of the meeting. So basically, we have a look on the task we managed from since the last meeting, and we did two. First, I created an issue that Catherine merged to create the first content on the contributor webpage. Let me check if we can have the live URL from here to share it on Slack on the chat. Contributor.
Yeah, and I also merged Ivan's PR just a minute or so before our.
Where is it? Accessibility, and we are here now. Let me copy paste the URL to show you what we did. How is the chat? Chat here. So basically, I started to copy paste the different hard hearing content to go fast, and then copy and replace the name of the group by ours, and then do some adjustments with the suggestion Catherine shared, and Ivan as well. Ivan create content for Slack, how to use Slack with screen reader and tips and tricks to improve usability daily. So I don't know if you already merged that one as well, Catherine.
Yes, yep. It's merged and I've put it.
I see it in the nav.
Yeah.
On the page.
Yes, I see. Just you have to unfold the link and see. Oh, great.
Yes.
But unfortunately, I see the message from CNCF yesterday evening from time that Slack won't continue to support the project. So that means the CNCF with the TOC have to decide where to move.
Yeah, I mean, we use the free version for Linkerd as well. So my company has a CNCF project and we have the free version. So it's usable. It's just like if you haven't Slacked someone for 90 days, like you won't see your history. I think that's okay. The thing that is really going to be annoying, because I have so many Slack channels and I have them grouped, you know, like everything that is like accessibility and diversity is like in one group and so on. And so that it doesn't do that anymore, which is very annoying because that's how I keep track of stuff. But yeah, so I think it's usable. I mean, it's okay. It's just like, I don't know, like if I really look for messages 90 days and further away, because it's more like for messages when you're communicating, collaborating with people, but we'll see. But they're also discussing moving to Discord, right? So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I know the Kubernetes notice that I saw yesterday said that there's plans to move to something and they're still figuring out what. So I feel like Slack is relatively usable and accessible. I use it all day for work, although a lot of people do. Personally, I haven't had nearly as good of reliable success using Discord. It's been a little while since I've really dug into Discord because I'm not on that platform often, but there's challenges with iOS and with browser-based navigation and stuff like that.
So, you know what? You should mention that there is a FAQ channel for, so we should tell the CNCF that Discord might not be as accessible to the blind as something, because that's something, if you're not impacted and don't know anyone, it's like something that's so easy not to consider.
I kind of totally agree with all of you here because Discord the user experience on Discord is very, very bad. Like it's inaccessible to people that I know that didn't have visual impairment. So people without visual impairment find it very difficult to navigate around Discord. And then Slack, we have like many ways to access Slack as a person living with visual impairment, especially with the help of document that you shared to some percent. So like super accessible. So like my verdict was Discord is not the right place to go for people living with disability. Thank you.
Yes, indeed, there is a dedicated Slack channel for this. Let's share the link on the chat. Basically, they start to discuss about this. I see there is a TOC tomorrow. That one subject topic will be this. And I see already someone asking to have a more technical decision than just only a feeling about using Discord.
Yeah, so should I start a conversation and ping you to Ivan and Hamza? So I think it would be, or do you want to? I think
I'll just I'll start something when I'm ready. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because we should definitely kind of mention that, and it should be because if we're not speaking up now, it will not be considered a decision.
Sure.
So yeah, so it would be important to raise concerns and say like why that could be problematic. Okay, so I put action item Ivan to post a message on.
Fuck.
Thank you. And Hamza, can you, once Ivan posted it, kind of reiterate or like kind of say like, yeah, I agree, so it's not just one person?
Oh, sure. Yeah, you can tag me to that post.
Yeah, I'll mention you. Or whichever of us posts, we'll mention you.
Okay.
Well, it's you now. I'm putting in the FAQ, and FAQ, I was going to say, in the action items, that's an action item on you.
Sure, I will, but I don't have to be the only person, yeah. But I will do it.
One starting the conversation.
Yes.
Okay, concerns regarding Discord. Okay, I'm glad we're having this discussion now. Okay, so generally what we do, well, anyways, I think like even if let's say we would move to Discord, it's still a valuable asset because whenever we create something, it's not just for the people in this group or in this community. We want the assets to be like useful for people beyond our small ecosystem. So one of the things that we should do as well is like post a LinkedIn message, something like, hey, we created this, and then we create a little buzz around it, have the CNCF share, and so it gets a little more a wider audience. And that can also be, so to your concern, that we want more people to engage. Like as we start creating resources, right? It starts with a very small group, and then we create something, we push it out, and then someone says, hey, look what they're doing. So it also is a little bit of creating momentum, right? So that takes time too. So as we post things and promote things, people will start hopefully flocking in because they see like, oh, this is really cool and useful and I want to participate. I think the problem that we've had before is that like people came up and then people left again. It's like we never actually had any progress, and then you join a group and nothing happens. And then you're like, well, why am I even joining? You know, nothing is happening. But like even if we're like a small core group and then like initially just create things in the small group, then people will come and say like, oh, this group is actually doing stuff that is useful. So I think that's been the challenge. We never had like this initial we're providing value thing. So I think like if maybe like the next resource, it's gonna be a smaller group, and hopefully with third, you know, like then you'll see people joining, because again, like people want to be part of something that is actually creating value and not just meetings, because we have enough meetings.
Right. And not to sidebar this too much, but one of the elements that we've talked about off and on as a goal for this group, being community. I've been kind of noodling about that and have wondered, you know, is that a way to create some connection that is, I'm not going to say it's easy at all to make a community, but I'm going to use the word more straightforward sometimes to have there be community, because we're not exactly asking folks to do more, right? I think something that I haven't been here very long, but something we hear often is I'm busy, right? I have too much happening in all these other facets of my life, and I think we can all identify with that. And so how to get participation that is valuable to as many people as we can. Maybe community is the place. So I'll stop there, not to have this be too far of an offshoot, but you know, what that community could and look what it could look like is an interesting thing that maybe we can riff on a bit in a Slack thread as a group.
But like that is absolutely aligned with the group, with the goals, right? Like we have again, like Merge Forward is kind of like going to be like the overarching kind of group for this one, the deaf and hard of hearing, and so on. And so we do have 3 goals, right? One which is advocacy, the other one is visibility, and the third one is building a supportive network. Right. So it's one of the core pillars is creating a supportive network. And so, which is why I was so excited when I saw Alex mention that he met you here and that he was like so excited because it's not very easy to find fellow blind SREs. And that's like, and I was like, oh, wait, did you meet Ivan here? Like, is this group? And was like, he said, yes. And I was like, that is exactly what this group is about, right? So I think that might even be one of the most powerful and beneficial things for the members. So I fully agree. We just need people to show up and engage for that, right? So,
and I'm by no means, you know, I've never been a community manager. I'm certainly not an expert. People have built communities, and I'm not one of those people. But I do certainly think about, well, what helps people if everyone is busy enough, full enough in their lives and their work and feels overwhelmed or whatnot, then there's going to be no room no matter what we do. And I'm not saying that that's certainly the case, but it is a reframe that I think we hear frequently. So that's a little bit trickier of a problem to solve. Unless we say, hey, well, our community is here, we'll send someone from TaskRabbit to your house to to do, to clean your kitchen. I don't know. So yeah, I'll start a thread in the Slack because I'm curious if other folks who are interested but haven't been able to make this meeting also have things to say about what if we had a call that talked about career stuff, broad topic, or transitioning in your career, or accessibility in job interviews. I don't know. I'm just throwing random things out there. Is that useful to people, or is everybody that's in our Slack presently going to say, I'm good with that. I don't necessarily need to be in that, or I don't have time to contribute. So I'll throw some stuff in a thread and see what we get.
Yeah.
So to me, like I don't really give attention to like a large number of audience when I'm building community. So what I focus more is impacts. Like what are we doing, and then how are we doing? Are we doing the right thing? Are we targeting the small number? Of course, we can be small number of group of people, but what are we doing in that small number? It's what really matters. We can have a large number of group of people, and then the community will now be choked without doing any reasonable activities. So to me, I focus more on impact rather than the bringing a lot of people into the community without doing anything reasonable that will benefit both the community and the people and members of the community. Thank you.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. I think it's mostly about like consistency in small numbers, or I'm going to say ownership, for lack of a better word. We say we're going to do something and we do, essentially, and so reliability, I guess. So I think that's key. If you're small but you get things done, that's all that matters. And trying to be helpful too. So that's a good point. I agree with that.
And just a note that, as usual, applies always. I do have a hard stop at the 30 minutes, so I'll have to hop off. I forgot, like, we do have the new asset, and it would be great to do the social media post. Who would like to do that? Promoting it.
I can manage to write the post if you are not used to do, because I'm organizer of events. I'm posting a lot, so I'm not interacting a lot on LinkedIn, for instance. But I can post something. So I can share you what I would like to post on Slack channel, for instance, and say what do you want to be seen on. I can get back the post you did, Catherine, last year, to get as well people joining the Slack channel. In the meantime, we'll keep it there.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's a good, like, kind of like, this is a new, and then there's a small call to action if you're interested to joining our effort. Yeah.
Yes.
I can also volunteer to post it on X, formerly Twitter, because I'm not active on LinkedIn. I can volunteer to post on X.
On which platform? Sorry, I didn't get that.
Twitter.
X, Twitter.
Twitter.
Yeah.
X, yeah, that sounds good. And
I still prefer to call it Twitter rather than X.
Yeah, me too. I refuse to call it X.
As anyone.
Just to be a contrarian.
Be like, you can be a holdout. As far as the timing goes, Catherine, you mentioned, you have another engagement. We if it would work for everybody, we could also move this meeting a little bit, if that helps.
Yeah, we could discuss that on Slack. I think we wanted to do it as early as possible because we had someone from India, I think, right? So yeah, so it's like
Harsh, maybe?
yeah. And then the last thing,
Yeah, I can remember him, Harsh. And then to me, my local time is like this is the perfect time. Like this is like midday, 1500 hours, and I'm very okay with that.
and then the last or the next project, kind of we talked about that, which would be good would be an accessibility best practices for blind and visually impaired attendees / speakers for conference organizers that we could use for that we can then send to the CNCF. And so I think we can maybe take as an example, I'm just going to post in the best practices.
For conferences,
That seemed definitely hard of hearing one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to put that in the agenda. Here's the doc from the group. And then kind of like, so what I would like to, one of the things that doc has, it's fairly long, but I think it's really important, and I say that as someone who doesn't need accessibility, that sometimes you just don't understand why. And I feel like it's important sometimes to kind of explain how how things make you feel if it's not like that, because sometimes people just don't realize people are very busy, they do shortcuts. And then, so for instance, people think like if you have captions, that's enough. But it's like, well, yes, you're sitting there at a conference and everyone is talking around you and you cannot hear them. So it's like, that's not a great, so like things that people don't really think about unless you kind of spell it out. So right. I don't know if there are things like that are similar to kind of help people to empathize and say like, oh, wow, yeah, no, that's terrible. We should not, kind of, because sometimes if you've been blind all your life, you think like these things are obvious, but they're obvious to you and your community. They're not obvious to someone who has never interacted or met someone who is blind. So those kind of things are really important. And you will see them in the doc as well. And so I think that's a very important approach and makes things a little kind of easier.
Yeah, I think it's really important to paint that picture and also to balance, like you don't want to overwhelm the reader, but you also want there to be context, and there's for sure a balance there, I think. So we can, I'm curious, at least for the folks here, and we can ask in Slack, what's a good collaboration option for you all for documents?
Okay, I'm just going to hop off. So good luck with the rest. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Yes, we will continue to discuss about that. Yes, so basically, if you have access to Google Doc, we can start to write down something.
Sure.
As you want, like write anything, and then try to reorganize the content to be fluid and more readable by everyone. But first of all, I think when I do some creative work, I brain dump everything on paper, and then think about how to arrange back the content. I don't know if you work like that as well.
Yeah, I'm
It's difficult to organize stuff in your brain because your brain is too limited by the space.
What I find is, and I'm probably missing some things because I don't use Google Doc a lot for editing. And whenever I do edit in Google Doc, I find it frustrating. So I tend, like when I did that version of the Slack document, I just wrote it locally and made it nice and made it what I wanted. And then I pasted it into Google Doc. But that's not how collaboration works. So, you have to keep iterating in the collaboration tool eventually. And so I'm fine working in Google Doc, though, if it's the best place for everybody. I will see if I can learn something about how to make the experience better. For example, when you arrow character by character in Google Doc, I forget exactly it. It reads, doesn't just read the letters, it reads something else irritating along the way. So we don't have to talk about that here, but there's possibly someone else who has more experience and can give some pointers there. Or the experience just is like that, perhaps. So, but I'm good with Google Doc for the sake of a platform that everybody can use.
You can start to bring what you want in your own tools and then copy paste everything and then start to discuss.
Yeah.
I already interviewed some others that are in the Slack channels, and I already have some part of information and can copy paste from there already, and then can start to make content not organized, and then read each other part, comment, and then create the final one with this raw material.
Yeah, if you have relevant content from those interviews and it's not too much trouble to break that out, that would be great.
Yes, okay, I will do that. So I will put it on the task list. So I will break down content.
I'm also to study work with Google Docs. I think is the best tool that we can use for collaboration. So I don't have any issue with that.
Okay.
And then even like you just said, you would like to work with it just to enhance the experience. I think that should be better. But I'm okay with you typing everything on Slack and then you copy and paste it in the Google Docs. Either way, that works.
Yeah, I don't know if I followed that last point about Slack, but I'm fine to work in Google Drive for collaborating for sure.
All
Okay,
right,
so I put sorry, correct. So then I put an action point on my side. So I will create the initial documentation with the information I will find back on the interview I did. And then I will share the link to you.
Right.
So basically
Great.
it will be on the same folder as other documents. So
Yeah. Perfect.
great.
All right.
It was the last point
So
on
just
the agenda. Do you have something else to?
just a quick. Yeah, I do. Sorry, just a quick one, because this is my first time to attend this meeting in a very long time. So, like, I was like kind of forgot on how things are done in this group. So, does this meeting have something like meeting notes that we will reference later, or a recording? If we have a recording, if we record the sessions and then how can I access the recordings for reference, for future reference? Sometimes I might miss the meeting and then I will like to, before joining the next one, to like go over the note, go over the recording and see what has been discussed before jumping into the next meeting.
Okay, so all the CNCF meetings are recorded and stored in YouTube CNCF channel. And you can
That's
find
nice.
them.
So I will go to the YouTube CNCF channel and subscribe.
Let me find the URL for the previous session to find out.
They're definitely posted in Slack, but you have to sort of, look for them.
You can subscribe. You will subscribe to all event content on the
Yes.
CNCF. There is no sub channels on YouTube.
Right.
Okay.
I subscribe to CNCF channel, but you. Let me find out.
Also, as far as your question about the meeting minutes, which is where I think other groups will tend to post recordings. I think by the looks of it, we're starting more in earnest with the meeting minutes today,
Yes.
I would say. So
Yes.
we could backfill some recordings, maybe the last 2 or 3 in the meeting minutes, or pink
Yes,
or pink.
on the top of the meeting minutes, you have a link to this meeting and the link to the Google Doc documentation folder, and we can put as well a link to the Zoom, the YouTube for the recording.
Oh,
So
that's
basically,
nice.
on top of these meeting notes, you have everything, and as well, it's on Slack. We got some bookmarks on the channel as well.
Oh, I
don't
will
know if
also look into that as well.
So here I can put the bookmarks as well on the YouTube channel. So
That's nice.
I will put an action point there to basically be more.
I will look into it.
It is a good point because even I miss one and I'm used. I follow some projects of CNCF and cannot attend every meetings. And sometimes when I see the agenda, I would like to see what will be the decision, etc., of the project. I'm looking back the recording. So it's a very transparent way of working the project. So I'm used to use this, but I can understand that people that not well connected to the CNCF yet or don't have used to see the records can be interesting to get the information straight away from the notes. I will do that just after the meeting. Okay, basically, how does it go? So you see when you join Zoom meeting, you get information about the session will be recorded. Catherine will receive the record in her inbox, and then she cut the initial discussion we have to say hi, etc., to focus on the meeting content, and then they send to a CNCF member to upload the video into YouTube channel. So it comes most of the time 5 or 10 days after the event. It depends.
Right, yeah, for it to get processed.
Okay, so I put it as an action item. Do you have anything else to add or to discuss about today?
No, I think I'm good. Oh, we
Great.
lost Hamza.
Great, thank you. So thank you, Hamza and Ivan, to join this meeting. So stay in touch on Slack channel for now to see what we have to manage and the action item as well on the agenda. And since we meet next time, I hope you the best for probably summer holiday will start for you. I don't know what is the usually period when you have break in summer, but it will come soon on my side.
Yeah, same for me. I'll have to look at my. It's possible that I'm going to miss next month this meeting myself. So, or I'll know that later today. But yeah, we can talk about that in Slack.
Okay, great to know.
Okay.
Thank you very much for attending this meeting, and hope you see you next time or the next one if you are in summer break. And enjoy your summer break if you want.
Yeah, likewise, same to you. And Hamza is back now. Hamza, it's good to meet you, and thank you for also joining us.
Have a nice day.
I will definitely make sure I attend the next one. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Great.
See y'all.
Ciao. Bye-bye.